What's up there, Workforce? Chris here with Work To Game, and today is 4.36. It is our Monster Hunter World crossover event with the Rathalos fight. So I'm going to jump in and show you how to unlock the fight, how the fight works. It is an 8-man. It's a little weird though, and so I'll show you that. And I want to say thanks to our patrons. If you'd like to consider becoming one, link in the description below. Let's dive in. Now it will start off in Kugane, so you run to this north end. There should be 2 plus signs, one down there for Pagos and one up here for the Monster Hunter World event. I did that first. That'll take you out to Azim Steppe. You'll need to go ahead and talk to these guys here. You can find them in the little circle. It's nice and quick. And then you're going to run over and watch some awesome cutscenes with a sheep and everything. And it's going to make you fly all over the zone. So you'll start near the Aetherite, you'll fly south, and then you'll fly north. And you'll unlock it by the cave. Don't disappear too far from this cave if you want to queue for the event right now, because you'll have to come back and talk to these guys after the fight. And so go ahead and fly up here and unlock the event and jump in. Now this will be 2 healers, 2 tanks, and the rest DPS when you queue for it in Duty Finder, but everybody is acting as a DPS in the Great Hunt. So there will be no tanking on this boss, there will be no healing on this boss. Instead you will have a potion to use. Healers that can res. My first group, I did 2 pulls of this before this guide, and one of them ran so smoothly I had to do it again to understand the mechanics. So I'll be kind of showing a little bit of both as we jump in here. So as you pull, he has a series of telegraphed mechanics. They're not easy to pick up, but thankfully none of them are fatal. When he turns like that, it means that he's going to do a big spin move. Typically with dragons, don't stand in front of him, don't stand behind him, but you want to watch this kind of rotation that he does when he kind of coils up. I'll see if I can find one here, and it will knock you back, and once you get hit by one, you'll keep getting hit by them. So basically, don't stand in front of him, watch for the spin, and range DPS, there is no reason to be right on top of this guy. Now you will continue pushing through this phase, and eventually a set of ads will spawn. If you don't attack them, they will attack the boss. So you do want to let them attack the boss a bit and not stand in their AoEs. I'm really struggling to learn the different telegraphs here. Basically, when he roars up, he's going to target somebody. That person carries their little circle out of the party, and then it shoots a fireball at him. And when he kind of coils up with his leg, he'll spin in the direction away from where his head is facing, if that makes sense. And so that is about it. It just takes some practice. I think this is going to be a lot more important on extreme, understanding these telegraphs, but for normal, just try not to get hit too repeatedly, stay out of the AoEs, use your 10 heal potions, use them as sparingly as possible because you will run out if your group is slow. My first group blew through this fight. The second group got to do pretty much every phase twice. So as he kind of goes down a little further, you'll see that the ads eventually do start attacking us, I guess because we attacked them, so we have to burn those. I don't know if they turn on you eventually either way. I have not been able to do a pull where somebody at some point doesn't catch it with a flare. Now when he goes down, I'm going to slow this down for you. There's a giant guy that comes in, and he's going to charge him. That's what's going to knock him down, and we are going to all kill the big guy except for one person who's going to run to the front of him and click on this foothold that appears. It's a little puddle in front of him, and you click on that. That's going to put them in an active event where they're going to have a button that they have to spam. I was not the person in either one, so I can't show that footage, but basically one person needs to go up and grab the foothold, and the rest of you need to attack this big giant elephant ram thing, this gorilla, because that is what's going to give us cover. So we burn that down while one guy tries to keep him under control, and as soon as that goes down, you all want to pile behind the body to protect you from the incoming fire. The first group did it beautifully, and we all survived nice and easy. The second group, not as much. So we lost pretty much half the party there. So we gotta, going back to the first group, we now push through this phase, basically just like before. Don't stand in front of him, don't stand behind him. So just keep working on that down gauge. When the down gauge hits 100, as you expect, he will go down. His Wyvern's Tail will be the new target. The first group was able to get this down in a single pull. So as soon as the Wyvern's Tail went down, everybody switched target, and we blew it down. The second group did not. Don't worry, that doesn't fail this fight. It just means he goes back into that flying form, and you get to do all of that again. So if we watch the second group here, you can see DPS is quite a bit slower. So especially if you're doing this on week 1, don't get frustrated, just be patient. If you get a good group, that's just like getting good RNG, and if you get a slower group, you will still get the down. We still 100%, I didn't wipe with either group. Now these stack mechanics, you're going to want to put kind of somewhere that once somebody sets one stack mechanic, go ahead and put all the other stack mechanics near that one, because otherwise you're just going to be spreading that fire all over the map. So the second stack mechanic in this pull is me, and I keep it near that first one, and so that fire will kind of overlap, meaning that we're not putting our unusable space on as much of the map. Now when he goes down, this is a great chance to limit break. You'll notice that the DPS is crazy here, so he takes a ton more damage while he's in this down kind of dazed state. So if we'd used our limit break here, this is the second group, I think we would have killed it. The first group actually got him down right there, super fast. So at the end of this fight, be sure that after you've tossed your comm out and everything, that you loot the scale. That is your loot here. If you do not loot your scales off the tail and off the neck, you don't get anything. You just done. You leave. Congratulations, you did it for nothing. So grab your Rathalos scales. That is important. The guy tries to tell you, but if you're used to ignoring NPCs with chat bubbles above them, you may not know to grab that. Exit here, go back, continue your quest line, and you will unlock the extreme mode. So it's a nice, easy fight. It is very reasonable, absolutely a blast. It is graphically beautiful. The telegraphing is still not something I'm totally perfect at. I can kind of tell when he's roaring up to be forward, but basically just don't ever be in front of him. And when he's targeting you, it's obvious, okay, run out there, and he's gonna shoot his fireball at that person. I had somebody drag one on me. It didn't kill me. The stack mechanic, I had one time where only one person stacked with me, and they were a caster, and it took them down. So if you're not all stacking, it does hit hard, but as long as you're stacking, you should be fine. And other than that, when he does his kind of like coil thing, you want to be on this side of his neck, and he's going to spin. And you don't want to be, because you don't want to be where the tail is, because the tail's going to come around that other side. And but once you get hit by one, it's easy to get hit by the other, because you're still kind of in this dazed state. And once you kind of start getting hit by things, it feels like you just get beat up a lot. So just kind of keep at it. The normal mode really wasn't that bad, so I wouldn't worry about it too much unless you're trying to practice with the intent of going to extreme, where you're going to be dropping to a 4-man. Healing will matter. We'll see if the perfect clear group ends up being a tank, a heal, and 2 DPS. I don't know yet what kind of the meta around that will be, but that 4-man seems like it's going to be a great deal harder just from me kind of watching a few people attempt it, and I'm going to go get in on it right now. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. This has been Chris with Work To Game. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you next time. We really appreciate you watching. We really, really, really do. Really appreciate you watching. We really, really do. A 30-second end screen is so long. I don't know how to fill all this time.